Nomadland. What are we to make of this great film? The character of Fern is played by Frances McDormand in a career-defining performance. She won an Oscar for this role. We get a glimpse of a woman who was forced into van life by economics, but at the same time, the road is where she belongs at that moment in her life. Most movie reviewers focused on the critique of corporations in Nomadland, including the role of real estate in the capitalist system. But this film also criticizes conventional notions of marriage. It's a huge part of the film. It was her husband's dream to live on the edge of the desert and work at the plant in a company town, Empire, Nevada. For decades, they poured their earnings into a house, but the house became worthless when the plant shut down and the town became a ghost town. Fern says in the film, early in the marriage, she thought about leaving her husband, but didn't. And late in the marriage, she considered increasing his morphine drip so he would die quickly, without pain. And if that isn't enough of a clue, this film quotes from Macbeth. It's Macbeth's soliloquy when he discovers that his wife, Lady Macbeth, has died, and we could read this in different ways. Fern's husband recently died, and she's the surviving spouse, so the filmmakers could be drawing a parallel to the male character, Macbeth. But it's more likely the film is comparing Fern to Lady Macbeth, who went along with her husband's dream, but realized it was folly and died. Now, if you don't know the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare, watch my review of Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand as Lord and Lady Macbeth. Nomadland could be telling us that Fern died to self, so to speak, to support her husband's dream. This film chronicles Fern coming back to life. Fern supported his dream, not their dream, and in the end he died and left her alone, financially devastated, though not emotionally devastated. Toward the end of the film, Fern is speaking with Bob Wells, a real-life van lifer who talks about mourning the death of his son. And he says he's convinced he'll see his son again in the future, down the road. And he tells Fern, just like you'll see your husband again, down the road. But the look on her face is like, I just got free of him. This film even has a subplot where a van lifer falls in love with Fern and invites her to leave the road and stay with him and his son's family. But she rejects the offer. We're not even shown the goodbye. So the character of Fern, who was married for decades, rejects a return to the conventional American dream tableau. Fern's character is independent, but she does make one compromise. When the van breaks down and she can't afford the repairs, she borrows money from her sister. We get a scene at the sister's house. She's married to a real estate guy. In this scene, Fern criticizes the real estate industry because it forces people to go into debt to buy a house they can't afford. Her sister invites Fern to stay, but she won't. Then the sister compares her to the pioneers and describes Fern as part of an American tradition. The last scene of the film shows Fern in the van driving down the road. There's a lot of artistry in this film, which shows us the vast landscapes of the American West. The film won the Oscar for Best Picture and the Golden Lion in Venice. Chloe Zhao won the Oscar for Best Director, and she has a strong point of view here. We get dinosaur imagery at the national parks, and the really big vans are said to look like dinosaurs. Fern has a small, older van, which is not a dinosaur. It breaks down, but can be repaired. Fern identifies with the van as an extension of herself. At one point, she considers selling the van, but can't get an acceptable offer. The market value is below the value that she places on the van, and by implication, on herself. Nomadland takes a dismal view of corporations. The director plays up the name of the town, Empire, which became a ghost town. Now, this film is fictionalized, but the van life aspects are based on a nonfiction book, Nomadland, Surviving America in the 21st Century by Jessica Bruder. The book chronicles older Americans who became van lifers after the Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. The town of Empire, Nevada is a real town. Now, when the sheetrock plant shut down in 2011, the homes and stores were abandoned and the zip code was discontinued. The town partially reopened in 2016, and once again, it's a company town. In the film, the character of Fern is a fictional character, but I like to think she recouped some of her losses on her house when the plant reopened. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.